Fat Joe has been on the forefront of the culture for a long time and has rubbed shoulders with some of the biggest stars there is. Because of his 30+ year tenure in the game, he has plenty of interactions worth discussing with the masses that have made major headlines when they've been reported. Whether it was turning down the opportunity to sign with Eminem 6 times or helping to carry the flag of Puerto Ricans in hip-hop, Joey Crack has left an indelible mark on the culture.
Yeah, Eminem, he gave me his demo like 6 times.
What?
Yeah, I fucked up big time.
Yeah, you.
Biggest mistake in hip-hop history, Fat Joe.
So much so that he feels confident to puff his chest out and say that in a sea of frauds and fakes, he stands tall.
I'm gonna admit something. I think I'm the realest rapper ever lived. If I keep it a buck with you besides Tupac, I really believe that.
But while Joe thinks he's one of the true dons in the culture where authenticity is often hard to come by, the problem he's running into is that people are seeing a new side of him, and it's one that's anything but the honest figure that he portrays himself as. Because the more and more he talks, it feels like he's changed from Fat Joe to Cap Joe.
Long ago, Fat Joe came out and said he lied in 95% of his rhymes. What did you think of that?
He told the truth for the first time, that he's a liar. That you can't believe nothing that comes out of his mouth. He's a liar.
It's your boy Luesta, and this is how Fat Joe became hip-hop's biggest liar. When it comes to hip-hop legends, there are few who've been accused of embellishing their stories from time to time. Think Snoop Dogg, Soulja Boy, and even someone like Rick Ross, who essentially stole another man's identity wholesale and parlayed it into a music career. But at the minute, Fat Joe's sheer volume of half-truths have helped him to earn the dubious reputation as a man who is a compulsive liar that'll say anything to stack the odds in his favor or to escape the consequences of his actions. Among the many things that people are taking issue with is his recent attempt to rewrite his own history. After years of being known as Joey Crack and Don Cartagena, a recent appearance on CNN saw the legendary Bronx rapper try to clean up his image as he portrayed his rhymes as fiction.
I've been rapping professionally for 30 years. I've lied in almost 95% of my songs. I'm being honest. Lied.
Lied how? What do you
just
mean?
go. I write like I feel that day. I'm just being creative. You know, if you could probably you couldn't build the jail high enough for the lyrics I've said on songs, which are all untrue. What I am is a family man, the person who gives back to my community all the time, open businesses in my community. So the music would never amount to the actual person, Joseph Cartagena.
This came during a segment on lyrics being put on trial, and while his intentions seemed to be to explain why they shouldn't be admissible in court, admitting that you cap in your raps is a very inadvisable thing to do in a culture that demands realness. Even so, Joe has since had to clarify and basically walk back the idea that his gangster image was an illusion.
And I say, yo, 95% of the stuff I say ain't true. Letting them know. Like, if you could think Rico Love is on here is one of the greatest songwriters ever made. You know, the album that Usher sold 10 million, everything, Rico Love wrote that. There's no way Rico could tell me every word was real, because it's not. We move off of inspiration. And so we get inspired, and then one day I'll go to the studio, I'm mad. So I write some fuck the police. One day I'm happy with the family, I go in the studio and I write about love and peace and tranquility. And then I write some gangster shit. You know, what I'm explaining to you, putting myself on CNN, on the hot seat for hip hop culture and hip hop music. And I had to say 95% of what I say is a lie so that they could understand that it's unfair to try some kids for the rest of their life.
But for all that people didn't buy his attempts to sanitize his image, they aren't necessarily 100% down with how he portrays his backstory either. Because as it turns out, his tendency to cap dates back to his reflections on his early life. If you ask Fat Joe, he was a menace growing up. And not just in the bodega's candy aisle. Over the course of his time in high school, Joe was allegedly defeating trained fighters.
I'm gonna say something that might sound really weird to everybody, but
Fat Joe's a black belt. Get ready, let me get a flag.
I fought enough niggas karate. I beat a karate expert up one time in Morris High School. That nigga used to come with the trophies. Yeah. Yo, he used to come with the trophies. They thought, I beat that boy. He know if he alive. He know I beat the smoke out that nigga. He used to come to the school with the trophies like he was a karate king. I beat the brakes off him in front of him. He thought niggas was scared of him because he was karate. That shit don't work over here. But what I was gonna say to you is,
He ain't catch you with nothing. He ain't catch you with a
he
chopper,
was
kick,
shooting,
nothing.
he was kicking, and I was going,
Yo, man.
kicking, bow.
Yo.
By the fourth one, that boy was out of. Yo, it was like, yo, my man, this ain't the flicks, B.
Right.
This is rock 'em and sock 'em, nigga. The Bronx. You got socked.
Yo,
But listen,
crazy,
that wasn't even where I was going with him. He lined me up every episode. He lined me up.
Yo.
Be careful.
But as unlikely as this seemed, it pales in comparison to Joey Crack's claim to have robbed an entire gym class, or even more ludicrously, that they actually helped him make his escape with the goods.
I once robbed my whole gym, the whole gym. Like 70 kids
robbed them?
without a gun. Like, yo, everybody give me your coats, give me your Walkmans, give me your this. Some of the kids I was actually cool with. And I was like, yo, run it. Everybody, run it. I couldn't even carry it. Some of the guys I robbed had to help me carry the stuff with them. Terrible.
To absolutely no one's surprise, people weren't just ready to accept that at face value. But that doesn't mean they weren't entertained by it. Fat Joe is one of them dudes that you know be lying, but you act like you believe him to hear what else he comes up with next. Then you gotta go home to your girl like, guess what this dude Fat Joe told me? The first lie was that he robbed his whole gym. We all know straight up that he never went to no gym. Over time, this story has lived on in infamy to the point that it led to Will Mills to label him as the rap game's biggest liar.
One of the biggest lies was that he said he robbed a whole gym, a Bronx school gym, the Bronx. I saw Fat Joe when he was younger. He was a fat kid. Now, knowing how gyms are at recess in school, at any given moment, there's gonna be between 70 to 150 kids in there at one time, right? He said he robbed 70 kids by himself at no weapon, at hand point, right? Went around, robbed everybody. So everybody stayed put. Nobody decided to jump him. I'm painting a picture here for you, Vlad. He said he had so much stuff that some of the people he robbed helped him carry it. Come on, bro.
Through stories like this, Joe has built himself as a mythical figure in the Bronx, but not all of his tales revolve around street life. In certain circumstances, his fictional tales are a way to boost his rep in the rap game, particularly when it comes to his dealings with fallen legends in the industry. Among the standout stories that caught Joe major flack was his claims that before the untimely passing of the legendary Biggie, the two had hooked up to record a joint album that was heavy on disses towards his then nemesis Tupac.
We did, but it never came out. And
Oh, really?
yeah, we did record. We was doing an album.
Was the
together.
song ever leaked or anything?
Nah, we did like 4 songs, but
You did 4 songs with Biggie that no one's ever heard.
never.
What the fuck?
I don't think you'll ever hear it.
Who's the producer?
If you do, you'll get upset.
Who's the producer?
It's Puff Daddy.
Okay, never mind.
So whatever, yeah. So
But without Biggie being able to confirm this revelation has come under a whole lot of suspicion. For one thing, Lance Unrivera, a former music executive who was perhaps best known for allegedly being stabbed by Jay-Z over a dispute about bootleg versions of his album, have cast skepticism over it.
I love Fat Joe, and Fat Joe is my guy. I love the Jada and Joe show, and now I know why they're running with the Joe's the king of Cap. I'ma call Cap without even knowing, right? Cause I don't know for sure, right? But I'm calling Cap that they're, cause if there was a real legitimate album, I would have heard about that, right? And I wouldn't have heard about them doing songs together.
The claim was also disputed by Lil C's, who said that he wouldn't have made a project based on beef.
Big was to go put forth a full effort into a whole full song dissing Tupac. But I'm going to say some lines to let you know I'm aware of what you're doing. I hear it. And you know, Big was kind of more like just sprinkling on it. You know, on the Jay-Z record, if Faith had twins, she'd probably have Tupacs. He was kind of like, yeah, I'm letting you know I'm aware of it, but I'm gonna have fun with it, and I'm not gonna say too much because Big didn't really want to make it that. He didn't want to thrive. He didn't want to add too much fuel to it, but I'm gonna let you know I hear you.
Besides that, he also claimed that he wasn't privy to any alleged tracks with Fat Joe, and as one of Biggie's most trusted lieutenants, he definitely would have.
I don't think so. I'm sure I was around for a lot of stuff, and I didn't hear none of that at all. Shout out to my brother Fat Joe too. But maybe that's something he know. Maybe that's something I wasn't around for. But I didn't hear those records.
But him and Biggie was working on the album together, right?
They was talking about working on some stuff, but I don't recall no records getting recorded. I never heard none of them. You know what I mean? So I can't speak on that because I never heard the records.
With those who were around at the time claiming that there was no way this was real, the real question is why Joe would go through the trouble to lie about something like this. And if you ask former Terror Squad member Cuban Link, he believes it was a ploy to artificially boost his profile in the game.
He wants to put himself with the elites. He wants to be a tether. Isn't that what they say? The FBA says a tether. He wants to latch on to the legacy of Biggie now. He wants to latch on to the Biggie legacy.
As crazy as his tales about Big are, his ties to both sides of the great figureheads of the East and West Coast conflict actually remain under suspicion. As one of the biggest rappers in New York at the time, Fat Joe was naturally trying to carry the flag for the East as Tupac led a campaign against the rival coast. And back then, Joe insisted he was ready for war on Biggie's behalf.
So what happened was East Coast, West Coast, Biggie's my man. And to be honest with you, you know, they would really, I want to use my words correctly. Let's just say the West Coast was like leaning on New York, like really leaning on New York, like hard. The pressure was legendary, and the New York rappers, you know, they just wasn't really coming back at them like that, and they was just violating, right, doing crazy shit. I don't
came in New York,
talk about all
buildings.
type of shit going on, right? And so I'm in the radio one day, and they asked me the question, yo, Joe, what you think about Tupac and all that? I said, yo, he's cool, but, you know, if they step to me, it's gonna be some shit.
During that interview, Fat Joe mentioned that when his music aired, Tupac, who was incarcerated in New York City at the time, heard it along with everyone else in jail with him. This allegedly put Pac in a difficult spot, where the Puerto Ricans basically saw this as Joe putting a hit on the West Coast star. And if Joe is to be believed, this meant that he basically had to lay down the law to save Pac's life.
Tupac got beef with Fat Joe, no. And then we was still in the street hard.
Right.
So I said that in the interview, you gotta be careful your words to really create problems. So then I get on the phone call, I get a phone call from Greg Nice, who pretty much put me in the game, one of my brothers. He said, yo, Joe, I got Pac on the other line. I was like, Pac? So I pick up. Tupac, I don't want to elaborate too much, guys, but what I'm saying is Tupac was like, yo, these Puerto Ricans is on me. Like, you said something in the radio. I don't got a problem with you, Joe. Like this, I know what's up, this is. And so, you know, we sent the kite out to the Puerto Ricans and be like, nah. This ain't about that. Not on the strength of me, don't do that. And then they wound up being real tight with Tupac in there and holding them down in there. That's how that came about.
Despite the skepticism this caused, Tupac's fellow Outlaws crew member Napoleon has actually co-signed this to an extent.
You gotta understand that Fat Joe was a real street dude from New York. When Pac was in prison, Pac told him that Fat Joe people used to look out for him. The Puerto Ricans. He said Puerto Ricans used to hold me down.
Ultimately, Tupac isn't here to clarify what really happened. But even if Napoleon gave it the green light, Joe's version of events was disputed by Pac's cousin, William Lassane, who said that it didn't check out.
The reason why I'm questioning that is because I know how the Puerto Ricans roll in prison, right? I know how they roll. And I know Joe is strong in New York with Puerto Ricans. I've been around Joe several times and he got Puerto Ricans around him that'll hurt something, for real. But as far as Tupac being in prison and having to call Joe to keep the Puerto Ricans off his back because they think that he got beef with Joe in the street or some, I don't know about that. Mind you, I was going to visit Pac every month. If Pac was having problems with anybody in prison, I would have been the first to know about it.
As a proud Puerto Rican and Cuban, Joe was never shy about flexing his ties to the real street dudes in that circle. But this has caused problems in the past, when he's gone too far with trying to put on for his heritage, and said something that is just flagrantly not true. A little while back, Fat Joe sparked a major controversy when he claimed that Latinos were as instrumental in creating hip-hop as black people were.
And the history of how it started. Latinos and blacks created hip-hop. If you go to Wild Style, the first hip-hop movie, you will see the Cold Crush Brothers. Their DJ was Charlie Chase, Puerto Rican. And you'll go to the battle that they had with Romantic, which was the first Puerto Rican MC. Ruby D was in there with the Fantastic Romantic. You cannot eliminate
the Latinos' contribution to hip hop. When you talk about breakdancing, we talk about Rocksteady and Crazy Legs. When you talk about graffiti, like, it's every element of hip hop. It was 50-50, bro.
This caused a major uproar and found him fighting a battle that even his compatriots didn't want to take him on. Latino contributors, not creators. Latinos had no part of the original influence, which was black people listening to music. Puerto Ricans had to go where black people were to experience hip hop, and I'm Puerto Rican. But it wasn't just fellow Latinos who were aggravated by his claims. After the clip went viral, Tariq Nasheed came at him.
In the movie, all the pioneers, they were like, yeah, when we were doing it, there just were no Latinos participating. We had a couple in the audience watching, but they just came later. They just weren't into it early on. And that's the truth.
Yeah, and listen, you've had very prominent Latinos over the years. Crazy Legs, of course, Big Pun, and Fat Joe, and Cypress Hill, MC Frost. Like, there's been a lot of very important figures in hip hop. But I guess if you're talking about the original, then yeah.
Likewise, Lord Jamar let it be known that there was a big difference between being there in the aftermath of its invention and being there when it really went down.
Were they the first contributors? Yes. Did they do things to help proliferate hip hop? Yes. Were they, do we have valuable people from the Puerto Rican culture that has contributed? Absolutely. But in the beginning stages of hip hop, in the creation stages of hip hop, this was very much a Black American youth thing that had no outside influences from Puerto Rico or Jamaica or any other type of place that you may name. The influences, if anything, were from down south America. The influences were our parents' music. Like, it had nothing to do with any outside people, and any individuals that might have been from those places did not bring that culture to hip hop. They had to act black in order to assimilate to hip hop culture.
Aside from getting flamed for this claim, Fat Joe didn't help his case when he later contradicted himself, saying on the Joe and Jada show that his dad tried to discourage him from trying to rhyme due to lack of Latinos in the culture.
It was worse for me. I had a Cuban father.
He didn't understand you at all.
On the table, he definitely looking at. Now, he was telling me the plain truth. He was like, "You're not going to make it. Have you seen any Spanish guys make it in this shit? You're done." And I'm from the soil, the Bronx. And my father actually saw hip hop born. He was like, "There's no other Spanish people doing this, Papi. Like, you have no chance." And I'm in the kitchen writing on the table.
Son, that's a black thing. I don't see nobody Spanish making it in that game. I don't see you having a future over there because of the fact, the simple understanding is that's not their history, that's not their lineage, that's not their culture. That right there is what black people do, son. That ain't really us. Nah, later on you become a fan, but that's all this argument was.
Speaking on the Joe and Jada show, his reputation as the king of cap really kicked into overdrive courtesy of his podcast with Jadakiss. In its short time in existence, Joe has rhymed off an endless array of questionable tales. And let's not forget the pause-worthy moments too.
I'm a serial glizzy eater. You know what I'm saying?
Whoa.
No, I'm telling you, pause. Pause.
Yo,
pause.
Whoa, go.
Pause.
What?
Pause.
Yo, come on.
Pause.
Oh,
pause.
Everything was going smooth.
Hold up.
What is this? Yo, come on.
Hey.
Courtesy of his vivid imagination, Joe is leaving his co-host bewildered with some of his bizarre comments.
Because crack in the 80s, it first caught the fly guys. The fly guy. Like, in other words, me and you
it used to be a
might
cool
have been
thing to
smoking
do back
crack
then, yeah.
if it came out now.
No.
We ain't know. I'm just listen.
Fuck what you talking about?
This is why I'm saying. This is why I'm trying to.
I ain't
you
that
with
man
me?
made.
And when it comes to his stories, it's fair to say that some of the far-fetched names are ringing alarm bells. There are even times where it seems like he's subliminally borrowing from pop culture to create his stories.
I had an army since I was in kindergarten, bro. I'm telling you, I got a story. He rest in peace. Julio Fuente, my barber for many years. He said I was 5 years old. I walked to his barber shop with 20 kids. And he said, he was like, "Yo, I can't cut your hair with these 20 kids." And he said that I told them all to go outside and wait for me. And they all went outside. And that's when my barber, Julio Fuentes, told me, I knew you were the leader. I knew you were gonna run this shit. You was 5 years old telling 20 guys wait outside, right?
Julio Fuentes is Fred Sanford's neighbor. In this era, Joe's willingness to take undue credit for things is reaching Soulja Boy proportions. During a recent collab with Complex, he claimed that he was supposed to get his first Jordan sneaker collab by a rapper.
I was the first rapper with a Jordan sneaker. Not only that, designed by Michael Jordan.
But 7 meetings?
7 meetings. They had the whole sneaker, Puerto Rican insole with the coquille. Jordan wanted it a Latino flavor, and then that shit happened at the MTV Awards where I was like, yo, security, this and this and that. I never forget, the next day I had a show in Jamaica. I went over there, the phone rang, and it was like, yo, Big Joe, you know, I'm not with controversy. You know, maybe we look at this in the future. That was the original first rapper having a Jordan sneaker.
Do you remember what models it was?
I believe it was a 3.
Okay.
It's either a 3 or 4. You can confirm with Reggie and everybody.
And of course, this wasn't enough. So he had to go one further and claim that he was the original shopper in the treasured sneaker store Flight Club.
I'm the first customer in Flight Club. Did you ever hear that?
No.
I'm the first customer in Flight Club, the other
Here
store.
we go again.
I backed the U-Haul truck up.
Okay.
You had a whole line down the block, and they got dumb tight when I walked right in the Flight Club. I might have bought 100 pair of sneakers, threw them on the whole U-Haul, broke out. They was dumb tight, the sneaker collection.
First shopper in Flight Club history?
First shopper. Walked right in. It was a line, the door wasn't open yet. Say it opens at 10, 9 a.m., they opened the door, Fat Joe walked in there, bought like 100 pair of kicks. I think my bill was like 30,000 or something.
Wow, I never knew that. Did you know that?
I gotta show you something every day.
Exactly.
Well, I'm sure Flight Club knows, and I'm sure them people on that line know.
On other occasions, his stories have seen him insert himself into movements that he had nothing to do with, including claiming that he was a 5%er, a movement which stems from the Nation of Islam.
I come from a project called Godsville, right? So also, it was like the Mecca of the 5%ers. So I was the God Crack Kim, great God Allah.
Yo.
Nah.
Yo.
Yo, I'm telling you what it is, right?
Crack Kim is crazy.
You gotta, yo, listen. You gotta think.
What is this?
Listen.
Almost immediately, this was disputed by those who were verifiably involved in the movement, who said it would have never gone down that way.
No self-respecting 5%er, God, Earth, is gonna allow someone to incorporate negative with positive in their attribute/name like that.
So since crack is negative, it would not be a 5% name? You're right, I haven't heard any names that has
That's like
crack or killer.
Heroin God Allah, like cocaine got like that shit.
Supreme.
It's some shit like if you rolled up to a cipher and yo, peace God, my name is Cocaine God Allah, you would have received what is called a universal beatdown.
Okay.
You would have got what is called justice. Justice is one's reward or penalty for one's ways and actions.
In yet another attempt to cement himself in history, Joe has also claimed he was the first rapper in the famed Apollo Theater in Harlem.
And I swear to God, had to be God, because when I stepped on stage, they just went pandemonium. Like, they never heard a bar, Jay. It wasn't like you this, you name it. I never heard a bar. I stepped out stage 4 times. They made me retire because I was just winning every week.
I ain't never known
And
that
they
shit.
never heard a verse. They could not hear a verse. It was just, the people just was just going, I tell them I was like the fat lady that goes, and I am telling you,
right.
I'm not going. Like, they win every week.
And while his time at the theater didn't help put his name out there, with Joe winning Amateur Night 4 times at the legendary venue, this is one of those cases where the story is strong enough without the extra hype. And trust me, it won't be the last time he does that. There are other times where he gets half the story right. For example, he once claimed that the late great Tupac Shakur spent his youth in the Bronx.
By the way, Tupac was born in the Bronx. Let's get that clear. Hold up.
To get up and walk out.
No. It's the truth. Could you Google where Tupac Shakur was born? He was born in Manhattan, raised in the Bronx. Okay. It don't care. New York. And because of the East Coast, West Coast beef, New York don't claim him like that, which is really weird.
He don't claim over here.
It's cool, but when you look at Juice, when you look at everything, Tupac is from New York. Technically, he's born in New York City, raised in the Bronx. right? Now,
raised
no,
in the
it's the
Bronx.
truth.
Yo,
Morning,
come
man.
on, dog. Yo, come on, man. Come on, dog.
What you
Tupac
trying to say,
ain't raised
Tupac?
in the Bronx.
Google that.
He don't even gotta
You ain't hear this
Google
shit.
that.
It ain't nothing like the old school. What are you talking
He
about?
wasn't
Listen,
raised in the Bronx.
he sure
James, tell him that it
He
don't
sure
say that, James.
was.
Let him argue with Google.
They don't say it there, James.
Baltimore,
No, it was
man.
Baltimore after the Bronx. It's cool.
Yo,
Whatever y'all want to say.
He put his
Who
own
cares?
shit. Yo.
Who cares? Listen to what I'm saying. Who gives a fuck what they say? Listen to what I'm saying.
The truth is, Pac was born in New York, spent time in Harlem and the Bronx, then moved to Baltimore at 13, before finally heading west where he became a legend. And sticking with stories about Shakur, there was even a time he said Tupac pulled him on stage.
How about this one? You want a cap one? You want a yo, yo, yo? So I'm just in the crowd as a fan. It was one of them Budweiser Superfests.
Oh, wow.
And the crowd started going crazy. And through the crowd, it's Tupac Shakur from Juice. And he's walking with Biggie Smalls. How about that one? I'm just in the crowd watching Big Daddy Kane perform. He stops. Yo, Crack, come on. All I got out is Flojo. Flojo #1 at the time, by the way, too. I'm standing on stage next to them.
That's crazy.
Okay? I'm on stage in Madison Square Garden with them. I remember Tupac pulling me up on the stage. Biggie, I got 7 Mac 11s, about 8. Tupac even said, yo, Fat Joe, passing the mic. Big Daddy Kane was like, not enough time, guys, not enough time. He shut Joe Crack down. Not enough times. This, that, this. It's cool, because I knew for a fact I wasn't as good as Tupac or Biggie.
And while this has actually been confirmed by Big Daddy Kane, he did so with caveats. You were definitely there and supposed to go on, but your nose growing a little with the details, Pajokio. Your version sounds more exciting than mine though. By this point, Joe's tendency to cap on the show is so apparent that he and Jada are leaning into the joke. In fact, even guests are referencing it.
Y'all check y'all material on anybody?
Not on Fat Joe, I'm not. And just to leave out this building, there's 150 Puerto Ricans waiting on me outside. No, sir. Nope, not doing it. I didn't listen to too many of them stories.
I love how your stories always involve way too many people. Like wherever you are, you be like, yo, it was me and like 178 niggas. Like, man, Joe, how are you taking this many people with you everywhere?
You got multiple tour buses. Yeah, all the way. Then it'd be all different types of dynamics of people. Yeah, it was me, it was 58 Dominican niggas, right?
I gotta be like, we perfect. Fuck that. I like a hot dog.
Well, why you tell me I gotta go to Turkey then, if that's the case?
Push back.
I thought it was vulnerability.
You look like G-Rap took a shot at you.
He got one of the best shit ever.
Yeah,
He got one of the best.
You look like you was at the Django and they shot half your shit
the
back.
Django?
Just
Come on, man.
Jadakiss seems to embrace it too, with Crack's claims of his alleged Joey Badass signing attempt leading to Jada throwing literal flags on the play.
You know, I tried to sign Joey Badass when he was in high school. I'm just telling you the truth. When we bring him up, okay. When we bring him up, remember them flags. We're gonna go back to the videotape. You supposed to be with me, man. Why you with these cappers and all that, man? Ask Joey Badass, what is this man, his brother, is...
I gotta go to the bathroom. Time out. You take it. You take it.
I'm telling you the truth.
As for the audience, there's a real sense that is part of the reason they tune in. This man got more fairy tales than Walt Disney. As things have progressed, Joe has actually owned up to getting things twisted.
And I hear him tell the cap stories. He exaggerates a little bit. Just a little
exaggerate.
But I was there for some of those things when it happened, so I know some of it is true. I know a majority of it is true.
Most of it is true. If I tell you 100 guys, it might have been 25. I'm gonna keep it a buck, but that's about the only thing I can see with Cat, cause all my shit is backed up.
That receipt?
I got work. There's a lot of guys who took smacks to the face out there that y'all call the biggest legends in the world, that they wearing it well, and they're looking at this show and they're like, that boy is not lying. I'm telling you the truth. There's a guy, somebody had to get punished. If I'm telling you these stories, I robbed the gym, I punished this one or this. Somebody's father was punished out there and knows it.
It knows.
You know, I had to go to Yonkers one time. You heard
the scrap.
Oh, you heard that? You heard I threw the whole block on the floor. Don't the whole block on the floor.
The whole block?
I didn't know. The whole block
I didn't
on
hear
the floor.
And at this point, he's acknowledged it's affecting his standing.
I think you still safe. Like, people don't think you crazy. Like, you've been up here.
crazy.
No. I'm saying if we cancel, hold up.
Yeah.
If we cancel the show today, you will still walk out of here the same Jadakiss. I am the Cat King, a liar, a story evangelist.
What's happening?
I done sacrificed.
What is happening? Wait, is this what people saying about you?
We got the most lit show in the game.
I know. Why you think I'm here?
I know, sis, but what you gotta understand is when I tell them I'm the God Crack Kim, I will show them a picture of me 15 years old with the kufi on, and then if you swipe left, I got the metra. Just so you know, you might have robbed the gym. You know, my shit come with receipts. But it sounds like, this guy's going crazy.
No.
Fat Joe is losing his mind.
You know.
I almost wore the royal blue hat for the cat.
But while much of this is all in good fun, there are times where his relationship with what's real and what's fake gets a little more sinister. Particularly when it comes to his late friend and rhyming partner, Big Pun. During the 90s, Big Pun and Fat Joe put Terror Squad on the map. At the time, they were inseparable. And after Big Pun sadly passed away at just 28 from a massive heart attack, it was assumed that Joe would ensure that Pun's family were good for life. But when a documentary revealed that Pun's wife was staying in a shelter, Joe, in response, took to Hot 97 to claim he's done the utmost to help.
She says, Joe, I'm broke, we got no money. I said, well, listen, people not gonna feel sorry for you because you're Big Pun's wife forever. I'm gonna get you some money. Now, what do you do? So she tells me, I like to do hair. I said, well, why don't you go to school for doing hair, and maybe you can open up 2-3 beauty salons and continue to support your family, because no one's gonna continue to pay your bills because you're Big Pun's wife. She had hundreds of thousands of dollars. I thought I did the right thing, Cypher.
Right.
Like, I thought I did the right thing. She spent the money unwisely, right? She comes back and says, Joe, I'm doing bad again. We give her a check out of our pockets. We say, yo, we got to take care. Because at the end of the day, Pun's my brother. I take care of over 30 people for the last 15 years. Like, 30 friends that they got to pay their family bills. They got to pay their rent. They got to pay whatever. Why wouldn't I take care of Pun's wife and Pun's kids? You understand?
And when it came to why he cut her off, he claimed it was because she was disparaging his fallen friend's name.
Calling them an animal and you calling them a beast. This is the problem I have with Liza Rios. Is that at the same time of saying, I'm Pun's wife, take care of me, I'm Pun's wife, she's just
ran his name through the
basically
mud.
disrespecting his legacy.
Right.
Like, if you have problems at home, and which to everybody, I don't believe that no man should pick up their hands for no woman in the universe. And I never seen him do that personally. So after this DVD, she knows why my and her communication had stopped. Because I felt like that was disrespect to Pun, to his kids, whatever the case may be. At the end of the day, she is Pun's wife, so I never wanted to go back and forth with her and make it look ugly, because I wanted to respect Pun.
This was the line that Joey persisted with for years, claiming that he'd done the utmost to provide. But according to music publishing expert Gongo Gu Roach, the truth is that Joe defrauded Big Pun's family.
Joe was telling her that, oh no, he owed me money. You know what I'm saying? Then all of a sudden, a bunch of fake royalty statements started to come biannually saying, you know, you're in debt, you're in debt, you're in debt, you're in debt. And then for about 14 years, from about 2000 to 2014, fake royalty statements was coming out.
2000 to 2014?
Yeah, fake royalty statements were coming. The same stuff that they had. It probably took me like a minute and a half to see the deception. I called her up, told her I paid for the case, paid for the auditor, took him to court. You know, Joe was all over the radio basically saying, I gave her $750,000, I gave her $250,000. I told the bitch, enough's enough. Everybody bought it and believed it. You know, he has the big platform. He could call Envy or all these other people and go in their radio station and be like, look, she's lying, and you know, she can't do the same thing, you know what I'm saying?
After extensive litigation, Gongo claims he eventually got his wife what she was owed, even if Joe denies it.
Yeah, for 14 years, but like I said, took him to court probably September 2014. By the time I think March we were in settlement by the time March 2016 came. He was in mediation, and I mean, according to him, there was never a court case. He was on Drink Champs and other platforms, basically saying, I went to court and the judge said, "What are you doing here?" And I walked out. He basically went on the platform saying that there was no court case.
Reportedly, this even hindered the release of a new project to celebrate Pun's life because they wanted his name to be cleared.
Even though she got vindicated through court, still nobody reaches out to her. You know what I'm saying? Say, "Oh, my bad," or "I see what happened," or anything like that. And then you know what else Joe did? This was crazy. So after we were trying to do a Big Pun movie and stuff like that, right? And basically, we were like, hey, let's get Joe involved. You know what I'm saying? Because it's gonna be bigger with Joe. If you do it without Joe, Joe can get all these other people involved and make it real big. That's truthful. You know what I'm saying? But he was basically saying like, well, if you go on Instagram or if you go out there and tell publicly that I never stole from you, then I'll work with you. Otherwise, I'm not working with you. She's like, why would I do that? You stole from me. You know what I'm saying? So he wanted her to change the story up. You know what I'm saying? So then if she did do that, now all people gonna be back on her ass in the DMs and telling you bitch, you lie and all that other shit. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy, but I don't understand how people just let him lie. Because not only that, people were calling me saying like, oh, you never took him to court and you a bullshit and stuff like that. And like what I do is like, I look at it as an art. Because it's not easy, you know what I'm saying? And it's like he's messing up my art at the same time. So I gotta be vocal about, I gotta be defensive about my work.
To this day, the topic remains a sore subject for Pun's wife, to the point that she walked out of an interview when it was suggested that she should apologize to Joe.
Why is it 20 years, how long, and you guys still haven't managed to really settle? And he said that he wants just an apology. You can't do that? As in...
Are you serious?
No, I'm asking you.
Why would I give him an apology after what he put my family through and what he did legally?
Was it legally? How...
You know what? Can we stop this for a second?
Yeah.
I'm leaving this interview.
What?
Because this is like a whole Fat Joe situation now.
No.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good off of this.
On account of everything he's said and done, it's easy to see how he's become known as the King of Cap. But there's a level of delusion that goes along with it, as he actually believes that if anything, his new podcast will vindicate him.
The one thing this show, I'm not gonna lie to you, has done for me. You see, look at his face, he grabs his hat, because he's like them.
When people say I'm not gonna lie, it's followed by a lie.
Yo, Jada, I don't lie. That's the whole point I'm getting to, Jada. And the one thing this show has done for me is prove that I'm not the Cap King no more.
You got a couple cases where you fixed. You definitely got the. They definitely owe you a few apologies.
All my shit is real. We do this story with Nelly and Ashanti. 50 Cent throw it up and said, no cap detected. You understand? Before they used to get away with saying, yo, Joe's capping. Now, if I tell you that 50 Cent lost the Grammy to Herbal Essence, we bring out the clip. And the winner is Herbal Essence. And so I'm not capping. This show is proving that I'm not Sir Cap-a-Lot.
It's fixing
shit up, right? Because they've been running with the narrative like Joe's a compulsive liar, Joe. No.
One thing the show had done is that there are times that he's actually being given his flowers.
Yo, that's but good. To speak to what you were just saying, do you know where clips come from? It was actually Full Eclipse. Full Eclipse. But we knew you had the Full Eclipse crew.
Yeah.
So we chopped it to just
we had to chop it down. We want no smoke.
You like that.
But even then, people are concerned that it's merely encouraging him to twist these narratives down the line.
Now why the fuck would y'all go and tell this nigga Fat Joe that? Y'all know how he get about shit, cause now I can hear the fucking story. 9 times out of 10, you know what Fat Joe gonna come back on the 2 podcasts later? Nigga Fat Joe gonna be like, remember the clips? Yeah, see, they got their name from me. No, I tell you no lies. They seen me go to the moon, and when I got to the moon, I performed, I don't wanna be a player no more. And mind you, that's not even my song, but I performed that on the moon. The Clips seen that and got their name from me, cause they seen I was up there performing music Eclipse and all that. Yeah. When I went up there, that's what happened. Cause that's exactly what he gonna say. He gonna come back with a whole fucking story about how the Clips got their name from him.
However, it's fair to say that this kind of love that he got from Pusha isn't the norm. Instead, people are citing everything from his name not shifting from Fat Joe to Slim Joe after his weight loss, and his dubious beard as reasons why deception runs in his veins. It has got to the point that people are beginning to break down precisely how he devises his tales. The biggest problem is that no matter how much he lies, Joe has done so much in the game that you can't take it away from him. But in some ways, it does cast doubt over everything, even if it ensures his name keeps ringing out in the media and cultural circles.
No, he said some shit one time. He said he stopped somebody from getting raped when he was 9 years old. Like he said, it came out. I'm like, he be saying some outrageous shit that was like, right. But he said so confident, like, but it's like you can't be 9 stopping somebody from getting. It's just like he says some shit that's just like incredibly. It can't be true.
He said he drinks 40 Diet Cokes a day.
Why not just drink a regular Coke? If you drink 40 of them,
I guess it's there's no calories in Diet Coke.
But I'm pretty sure you drink 40 of them. It's got to be something.
In there.
But I just think it's entertainment. I don't know if he really mean them for you to believe him.
I mean, we're all talking about it. Yeah, it's working.
Now more culturally relevant than he has been in years, Fat Joe runs the risk of letting his lies overshadow the things that he's accomplished. For those who remember the origins of Drake's career, you'll know that tough talk wasn't much of a factor on projects like Room for Improvement or So Far Gone. In truth, the harder edge to his lyrics recently commenced on tracks from his sophomore album, where he claimed that "you gonna make someone around me catch a body like that," leading to no end of confusion for those who had witnessed his rise as a rapper fusing R&B into his sound and broadly making music for pop audiences. And at first, it seemed like a potentially catastrophic decision.
I mean, listen, I think Drake can rap. He's a dope rapper, but I hate when he sings. And I just think, personally, he's a corny guy. Like, he's just a corny dude. In that new Headlines video, he looks extra corny. It's like, Drake, why are you thugging now? Why are you dressed all in black? Why you got on black gloves? Why you got a whole bunch of dudes around you dressed in black? And then he's singing in Headlines about catching bodies. You're gonna make me catch a body like that? You're gonna make somebody around me catch a body like that? And, don't do it, because when he go to jail, we all go through it. And, Drizzy gonna pay it. What do you mean pay? What, you gonna pay the bail? You gonna pay for the hit? Like, that's not you, Drake.
Especially since Drake's crew at the time was mostly made up of guys like his producer 40, OVO Ryan, and Future the Prince, which are all creative minds, not street guys.
Nobody really that I've ever considered a true friend has switched up. But these these fly-by-night people that you just come across, they're all not to be trusted.
And in a genre where authenticity is, or at least used to be, of pivotal importance, trying to portray himself as something he wasn't was a very, very big gamble. But since then, we've had everything from Drake rocking ski masks as though he's imminently about to do a drill, to lyrics like, "I should probably be in there with thuggin' them," as well as spitting lyrics like, "The weapons we got is some terrorist shit. Like TV producers, we airing this shit." At every turn, people have struggled to buy it. And recently, his tough guy image has reared its head once more on the rollout of What Did I Miss? Whether it's the 100 guns in the music video, or his verbal spat with a passerby during a stream where the Toronto Hoodman's cosplay came out in full effect.
So what then, big dog? Don't look away now. Don't look away now. Don't get shy now. We'll fold that up right now. Blessings. Blessings.
And considering that he's now fully immersed in the accent that he once mocked in front of some upper class individuals, it's fair to say that, as always, most people are not buying it.
The whole trying to sound tough thing from Drake just never works. The whole idea we about to fuck somebody up, the we of it all fucks.
But that's what tough guys in Toronto sound like.
We'll fold that up right now.
By now, it's fair to say that this response to his latest attempt at adopting a hardened exterior is generally how people perceive the threat, or lack thereof, when it comes to Drake. But there are rare instances that people have suggested he's not the one to be trifled with.
I'm scared of Drake.
You scared of Drake?
Certain people, you gotta be scared of Drake. He's not a fighter. He's not a fighter and he's powerful. He gotta be dangerous in some shape or form, fashion.
But when we're talking about him being a fearsome individual, it isn't this guy they're afraid of.
Roche brought me the hat that I need for the stream right here. This is my alter ego. I need the Max Wayne.
And Wayne is my favorite person to work with, though, because it's just, ooh, Lil Wayne, he's just too good. Ooh, Lil Wayne, he's just too good.
Instead, it's his ever-expanding entourage that's the problem, because these days, it's less geeky guys from the Toronto suburbs and more experts from the trenches. And at times, there has been reason to believe that they've acted like his personal militia. When it comes down to it, the reason why they're liable to crash out is that for a lot of these guys, Drizzy is their ultimate meal ticket. Some of Drake's people only eat because he feeds them. He's the reason they've got clothes, a car, and a roof over their head. And whether they admit it or not, they'd crash out for him in a heartbeat. By acting as their benefactor, Drake has instilled a will in these individuals around him that they'll remain loyal to him because when it comes down to it, he can change their life in an instant with one Cash App transaction. Always by his side yet invisible when he decides they need to be, the people that are essentially seen online as Drake and OVO's goons always have his back. But there are some people who feel that out of all of hip hop, they are the least intimidating team imaginable. Drake got the worst shooters, man. All fucking dorks. LMAO. Although he hasn't always been around, one of the louder enforcers in Drake's circle these days is Canadian rapper Top 5. As a member of the Go Get 'Em Gang, or GGG, Top 5 was co-signed by Drake, and even got a shout out on Grammys off Views, with his track Shirt Off. But despite the recognition, Top 5 stayed active in the streets alongside his brother, and after his brother was killed, he and the GGG crew vowed revenge. Top 5 even went on Instagram more than once, saying he'd personally pull the trigger on whoever was responsible. Top 5 later talked about getting revenge for his brother on social media, and not long after, he was arrested for the January 2021 murder of 20-year-old Hashim Omar Hashi. According to police, Hashi, who was just a second-year accounting student, was killed in a case of mistaken identity, believed to be the man who killed Top 5's brother. And cops arrested Top 5 2 weeks later for his suspected involvement in the crime. He had a whole host of illicit substances on him, including heroin and fentanyl. Despite the prosecutor's reservations about releasing him because he was a flight risk, they were proved right, cutting off the ankle bracelet and fleeing to California before getting apprehended at a Burger King. Eventually, he was released after 3 years and cleared on all charges.
How are you feeling?
An innocent man just came home, right?
Toronto rapper Top 5, whose real name is Hassan Ali, leaves court after spending 3 years in custody in connection with the killing of a 20-year-old man in January 2021.
I feel like a baseball player, superstar, you know what I mean?
The case against Ali collapsed after the judge excluded evidence the Crown called crucial. That included music videos and social media posts. His defense lawyer argues prosecutors attempted to use his music against him. What's your plan now?
I'm gonna bring every community together. Stop the violence.
With
positivity.
Stop the violence. Positivity.
And as soon as he was let out of custody, he immediately thanked Drizzy for paying his lawyer fee, securing him the legal services of Toronto's biggest lawyer in Gary Grill. At first, Top 5 said he wanted to focus on peace, but the second that the Drake versus Kendrick beef kicked off, that all flew out the window. He quickly took Drizzy's side, and even joked that the two of them would watch the Not Like Us music video together and figure out who needed to be dealt with.
I'm gonna sit down with you guys and we're gonna play Not Like Us, and I'm gonna spot every nigga in the video, including DeMar DeRozan.
Yo, what's up with DeMar? What's up with DeMar was
He's Borg. They traded him. Whack. Whack. Nothing. Borg, man. Nothing, man.
From there, he acted as if he banned Lamar from Canada as a whole.
Let me tell you something. Kendrick Lamar can't come to Toronto. I'm here.
Yo!
Where others sat back, Top 5 took the flag and even acted like he'd kill Hida J3, citing his previously dismissed charge as the reason why he would escape any kind of legal drama stemming from it.
Oh, J3?
J3? Who's
I'm gonna give him a fade, but I'm gonna done him. I'm gonna done him. I'm gonna tell him, yo, let's do the fade, and when he comes, boom, and with my word, I'm gonna done the guy.
Yeah?
The guy's talking sick. I just beat the body. I feel like I'm untouchable.
However, if Kendrick was supposed to be afraid of going to Canada, he clearly didn't get the memo, as shortly after, he announced shows in Top 5 City. Still, Top 5 showed that he would single-handedly bring a halt to the June 12th show of the GNX tour, and for a little while, he had some people fooled enough to be adamant on high alert.
Do you think that Kendrick could come to Toronto and do a big show without any problem?
I don't know, man.
You know how connected Drake is in Toronto as far as with government officials and who else?
Top 5 and all these niggas, you got wild niggas in Canada.
There's two I need daddy. You and Kendrick.
Like I say it again, Canada's not sweet.
You really think that Kendrick Lamar show is happening in Toronto?
Apparently he got two of them there.
That shit's gonna be canceled.
I don't know if Kendrick is booking the show at the Scotiabank Arena and people not showing up to just boo him.
Can't even trust people at the airport. Who can you really trust in Toronto?
I think everybody that goes to a Kendrick show in Toronto is going there strictly to try to ruin his show.
Every chance he got, Top 5 swore up and down that Kendrick wasn't gonna make it out of Canada alive.
He can't come to Toronto.
So it's real life, it's not just music.
Hey, damn right. Why do you think everything's a joke? We're serious motherfucking guys.
But it seemed that his street cred doesn't cross state lines. response, because people on the West like Whack 100 and TDE affiliates like Smack insisted there was nothing to worry about.
Dude is nobody. Dude, come on, we watched this same dude get mushed in the face and kicked in the ass. Oh, I was only 19. I don't know where y'all come from, bro. We off the porch at 12, right? We ain't going for that. What you mean you was only 19 when you got mushed in the face and kicked in the ass? Well, how are you supposed to be when you got the heart of a man not allow that to happen? So, you know, dude just do a lot of talking. Little dude, 140 pounds, do a lot of talking. Ain't nobody worried about dude.
It's beef with top 5 from Toronto.
Yeah,
top 5. They're going to class whenever they meet up. His daughters, all that, nigga. Come get him. He threatening us. He threatening us. It's all off the tables now. Yeah. It's off the tables. He threatening us. Nigga. Fuck your whole family. I hope they send this to you. Everybody go tag him in it. You pussy, B.
And for the most part, the public agreed. I'm from Toronto and think Top 5 is a goofball. Nobody finna touch Kenny. Besides all the tough talk, footage of him wearing a bra didn't exactly help his reputation. Not to mention other videos of him getting utterly punked by others in the city he allegedly runs.
You don't really know what the fuck somewhere, dog. Stay outside, my nigga. Stay outside right now, nigga. Get the fuck outside, nigga. Get your ass booming on, nigga. Get the fuck out, boy. Who's you fucking pointing at, nigga? I'll boom on you right now, nigga.
Sorry, that's top 5.
I don't know fucking the fuck you talking to. You think acting like you Drake ass? Get the fuck off the street, you bum ass nigga, nigga. Wear flip flops looking motherfucker. Stuff you right now, nigga.
When Kendrick finally pulled up to Canada, Top 5 put on a whole performance, trying to force his way into the hotel like he was really about that life.
Lock off every door in the Noble Hotel. Man, even cut everything off. Man bought everything. He's a bitch.
And, of course, had an altercation online with Hida J3, where he declared that, "I'm convinced Crody the police." Ultimately, Dot played the show with no issue whatsoever, and for a little while, Top 5 disappeared back into relative irrelevancy. But this was about to come to an end when he accompanied Drake to London for his residency at the Wireless Festival there. From the moment they arrived in the English capital, Top 5 was doing his utmost to let the UK know that he intended to be the man on their streets.
London streets, nigga. London safe, my boy. London streets, nigga. GGG.
But all he was about to learn was that he wasn't untouchable in the way that he had previously claimed.
There's no killers in the UK. There's like serious guys. We're not gonna come kill us. No. They're not gonna come kill us. We're safe. You can even show your addresses.
Just hours after these comments were made, he got stabbed, essentially making this meme a reality. And after acting out the way that he didn't get any sympathy. He got clowned hard. Is he stupid? He's talking about killers with guns in a country where guns are completely banned. It's a different breed and mindset. Top 5 met the roadman out in London. In the wake of the assault and Top 5's hospitalization, the whole thing was subject to a police investigation.
If you was in your car yesterday, yeah, and you pulled up to the party where Top 5 got stabbed, you're getting T-packed. Trust me, they said they want to know who stabbed Top 5. They need to find out.
And this only led to further speculation that he cooperated with cops, with the UK rapper Ratlin, labeling him a police boy. But above all, he should learn a lesson that when he's in an unfamiliar place, it's perhaps wise to not act like he owns the place.
When you come to the UK, when you come to London, when you come to Birmingham, Manchester, when you're in different areas in London, foreigners, because this is a message to you guys, please take us very serious, bro.
Because by the sounds of it, he narrowly escaped with his life.
Now, Top 5 is good. He has like a big laceration. It was kind of deep. He lost a lot of blood. He went through surgery. He's gonna have full recovery. That's a fact. But it's gonna take a little while. I think he said it was like 17 inches. But you know, but I ain't gonna lie. They for what it's worth, yes, somebody definitely went. You know, try to kill him. You know.
With that incident, Top 5 joins a whole host of apparent Drake goons who have hindered his image more than they've helped it. And in the aftermath of the Kendrick Lamar beef, there are few people this applies to more than Baka Not Nice. A long-standing crew member, Baka and Drizzy have been rolling together since at least the More Life era, where Drizzy tapped into his gangster bag by spitting, "That's Baka, he's a no longer talker, quick to let the tech slam. We don't need to hear about a next man, Utes talk down, they get ran down." In actual fact, he met Drake on the set of Preem's video for In My Hood, way back in 2010, gradually entering his inner circle since. And once Drake began to develop a harder persona, having someone who'd spent 8 years in the pen in his circle could only be a good thing. While for Baka, it gave him a chance at a music career, enabling him to join OVO. And since then, he's rode with him to the fullest, insisting that any disrespect wouldn't be tolerated.
You gotta understand something. If you're gonna disrespect my boss, my brother, my friend, or anybody on my team, I'm gonna feel offended. It would be weird if I did it. Those are my brothers. Those are the men that I eat with, break bread. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, of course I feel offended. But at the same time, I know that Drizzy Drake is a grown man and he can handle himself. If he needs me, he can call me.
He can call, yeah.
But these days, you can't hear his name without hearing the words "weird case" immediately afterwards, courtesy of Kendrick alluding to his shady dealings with an ex that he pleaded guilty to. Later, Baka claimed that his boss told him not to respond while also insisting there was nothing to the allegations.
Sorry, it might not have been a call, it might have been a text message, but he messaged me, and he's like, I know what you're feeling, I know you as an individual, and I know how you get down, but I'm just letting you know, like, don't listen to the noise, because it's noise. And if you go back and look at all these people that are saying things or having anything to say, they're not even actual real people. They're like bots.
Exactly.
So like, don't let that shit bother you, bro.
Facts.
Like, and you know what? Like, I mean, it's not a good thing, but they're calling your name. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, you know, they're gonna get over this crap because they're gonna realize there's this crap, and then they're gonna go do their own research. And when you do your own research, you're gonna be like, wow, this guy made up a whole story about something that isn't even true, and it makes you look weird to me. I don't know.
It does.
But in all honesty, doing research is the last thing he should have asked anyone to do.
2014, Baka was arrested and charged with forcing a 22-year-old woman into prostitution and taking her money. In 2015, he pleaded guilty to assault on the woman, an unrelated weapons charge. He was sentenced to 6 months, but since he had already spent 10 months in custody, he was not required to serve any additional time. The woman actually refused to testify, which led to the charges of forcing her into prostitution and human trafficking to be dropped. The reason why I stuck is because it sounded good and it sounded funny and it sounded disrespectful. Baka got a weird case. Why is he around? He put a whole plan together to make a record to dismantle y'all. That's all it was about. It was about causing friction from within. Saying, have you ever thought OVO was working for me? You know what I'm saying? Even for the person who might have not been working for him at all. Y'all said y'all fed him information.
And if the goal was to divide and conquer as Wayno suggested, it definitely worked to an extent. Because these days, the guy who's supposed to be the big bad wolf in Drake's corner is getting clowned on every post that bears his name. And plus, they've only been pictured together sparingly since it all went down, with Baka not even making his way to London. With incidents like this mounting up, and his team struggling to retain any semblance of respect, he must be wondering who he can rely on. And if that's the case, he'll be happy to have Chubbs. Unlike someone like Top 5, Chubbs has been with him since the outset.
Preem had met Drake and introduced us to Drake. We didn't know him back then, so Preem was rapping and Drake was rapping. Drake was really good, you know? So when I first heard Drake, I was kind of like, you sure you want to embrace this like that? Because like, he's really good. But yeah, it's the best decision we ever made. When I first got on the road, it was security, make sure he's straight at all times. You know, we went to New York first. He shot the video for Best I Ever Had. He asked me to come to Miami. We went to Miami, and then he was just like, yo, why don't you just stay on the road? And that was like 14 years ago. I haven't come off the road yet.
The man who has acted as his head of security for years, Chubbs is always by Drake's side. He was probably the one with him during the Punk'd episode where Drake got so scared that they didn't even air it because it was too embarrassing.
I think like one of my favorite ones is one that we did at the end. We punked Drake and we created an earthquake inside of a parking garage. Like, a lot of people didn't see it, but we legitimately like turned a parking garage into an earthquake zone. And he was in the car and we started like rattling the car and the whole garage. And he jumped in his buddy's lap and he's like, literally, he fetaled up. He like Canadian fetaled up into his buddy's lap. No. And I was like, yo, Drake just fetaled up. And then we had to cut that out.
And even the footage that did make the air didn't exactly portray himself as a tough guy.
Bro, it says it right here on the back.
Who the fuck are you talking
Dude,
about?
what is this? Why do you have this? It's a Secret Service car. Man. What the fuck? Yo,
why do you have this?
What are you doing with this?
Move this car.
Tase your wife, tase your wife.
Oh my God, dude! Oh my God! Did you just tase your wife?
Still, while women come and go, and even his relationship with his dad has become strained, Chubbs has been a constant, saluting him as far back as the liner notes of Thank Me Later, all the way up to his henchman's 40th birthday party.
That's my dog right there. As a 38-year-old, I just want to say happy 40th, brother.
You know what I'm saying? This one, yeah, no, hey, listen. We're all one family. We celebrate together, you know what I'm saying? Highs and lows. We celebrate the lows too, by the way. That's my recommendation to you. Sometimes you gotta celebrate the lows too.
And by all accounts, if there's anyone who's truly put himself on the line and took penitentiary chances for Drake, it's him. For one thing, he apparently put his hands on producer Detail during a dispute about whether or not he wanted to work on Drizzy's album, and apparently got his face broken in the process. I'll beat all your asses, including your bitches, Chubbs apparently said amid the beatdown. I don't give a fuck, I will hit you again. Do you think Drake is soft? You think Drake's a punk? Afterwards, Detail says he was so badly hurt that he couldn't work for a year. He asked Drake repeatedly, and in vain, to cover his medical expenses. This sort of sentiment would be echoed by someone like Mo G, a Toronto artist who was shouted out on the track Summer 16, before falling afoul to OVO after claiming he wasn't properly compensated for his work on Drizzy's tracks. Left angered by it all, he took his grievances to the internet.
Have you ever heard in the history of hip-hop a man that gives away his creativity and helps make Billboard hits but doesn't get paid $1 for it, one credit for it? You're stuck in the hood. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't make sense. But exposing these niggas will make sense. Fuck you bitch ass niggas. Song. Oliver's a fucking snake ass nigga, double-headed snake ass nigga. Alright, just to let the world know, I never got paid no 12 grand. For the record, I'm not signed to OVO, and all my real fans have been rocking with me from day one. Check the history. I always delete all my posts, and I deleted it because I got bigger info coming to you right now. As
And just days later, he was in the hospital after a beatdown from apparent Drake goons, most likely led by Chubbs himself. Another man who can attest to Drake's goons getting active would be none other than Dram, who claims he was on the receiving end of a beating from his security.
Hey, somebody tell Drake to shut the fuck up about that shit, man. Fucking 5 years ago, this nigga never even fucking touched me, nigga. I pressed his ass. His fucking bodyguards, goddamn. I ain't gonna hold you. His bodyguards went to town on the kid. But his bodyguards did, not his bitch ass. He ain't touched me. He's a bitch. You know that. You wanna have your guards. That's cool though. He ain't touched me though. And that shit from 5 years ago. Come on, nigga. Who else, like, you know what I'm saying? Why don't you keep bringing up, why don't you bring up how you got smacked by a Diddy or some shit?
With Dram and everyone who's received a beating from the OVO team all claiming that Drake himself wasn't actively involved, it paints a picture of a man who won't do his own dirty work. And when someone actually does press him face to face, he usually takes the L. Like back in 2014 at DJ Khaled's birthday party, where he and Diddy got into it over the 0 to 100 beat, and Drake definitely didn't come out on top.
I was laying in my bed and my phone kept ringing. I'm like, why my phone keep ringing at 4 o'clock in the morning? So I go to look at my phone, and it's my dude, like my dude. And they ain't, he ain't no just random guy in the club. This is somebody that everybody knows. He's like, boy, you wouldn't just believe what happened. I'm like, what? Did he just slap Drake?
Slapped or punched?
I heard a slap. He's very happy that, Diddy slapped Aubrey. That's just the bullshit in me that appreciates that. I actually sent Diddy an email and said, you're my hero.
And while some might argue that Drake had to take it given Diddy's newly unveiled superhero status, it's important to remember that his friend J. Cole had thrown hands with Diddy a year later at a VMA's after party. With no verifiable evidence that Drake has ever been in a fight, he has instead built a crew which features affiliates of GGG Gang and Halal Gang, the former of which stole DJ Drama's chain after his apparent role in the Meek and Drake beef, before shouting out the Toronto Star in the process.
This what you fucking get for not checking in. Shout out boy Drizzy, eh? Triple G's, you know how we rock, slap, brat, clap.
Then, there are his dealings with members of the Reps Up label, including G-Way or Galloway Boys gang members like Gilla and P. Rain. And of course, there's perhaps the biggest force field of all in J. Prince. In case you're not familiar, this Rap-A-Lot Records CEO has held sway over Houston for a long time. He has gone down in hip-hop history as an individual who can't be messed with. Just ask his former artist Yuckmouth about how he commands respect.
Jay is connected. Like, you get him, you know what I mean, with the Chicago connection, you know what I mean, with the big homie in Chicago. I ain't gonna throw his name out there like that. He's connected with all the big homies. Jay is tapped in with too many real niggas. And too many motherfuckers love him and got respect for him to let anything go bad talking about him, period. He got too much respect and love from everybody, and he fucks with everybody. So good luck getting away talking about that man.
Over the years, since Drizzy's first linked up with the mogul's son, Jazz Prince, Jay has maintained that he would always have Drake's back. And when his beef with Kanye reached his height, people believed that he put the screws to Ye when he made him issue a public statement, which looked like a hostage situation.
I'm making this video to address the ongoing back and forth between myself and Drake. Both me and Drake have taken shots at each other, and it's time to put it to rest. I'm asking Drake on December 7th to join me on stage as a special guest to share the 2 biggest albums of the year, live in Los Angeles, with the ultimate purpose being to free Larry Hoover. I believe this event will not only bring awareness to our cause, but prove to people everywhere how much more we can accomplish when we lay our pride to the side and come together.
Immediately, people saw through the notion of this being organic.
But Drake just not saying a word told me all I needed to know about this appearance and what it is and what it meant, and hopefully none of us and none of y'all have to ever be in this type of predicament. Jay Prince is there with his hands folded, not even making sure that you reading the right shit off. There ain't a worry in the
Just
world.
me standing
You might as
here
well go make some coffee.
He's the type of guy people say can ruin careers if he really wants to, which led to comments like, Jay Prince definitely typed the whole thing out. He looks like there's a gun pointed at him off camera. However, beyond the smokescreen that he's provided by all these people around him, Drake still can't seem to shake the image that he is soft, which has been following him around since the origins of his career. Not to mention that when he does try to assert himself, it's only met with laughter. And if there's any reason why that is the case, it isn't down to any external factor. Instead, it is simply the doing of Drake himself. Because while some suggest that the belief that he's essentially a weakling comes from a broad generalization about Toronto, others feel like it's a direct byproduct of how he is as a guy. In their mind, Drake is the soft, light-skinned Canadian, and in the American arrogant, ignorant mind, all of Canada is maple syrup and hockey. So when Drake raps about any testosterone or references anything street, it registers as pure fantasy and fraudulent because they can't fathom that Drake could possibly have an ounce of toughness or have any connection or relationship with anything or anybody street. I promise you, nobody is calling Drake soft because he's Canadian. They say he's soft because he was on Degrassi and how he carries himself, wearing bonnets, nail polish, and I'm a Drake fan. Given the perception that he is an actor playing a role, it explains why the use of hundreds of guns in the video for What Did I Miss seemed anything but legitimate. It even got heavily critiqued by people like Charlemagne, who just couldn't fathom how it seemed like a good idea.
So many people that he had to go at.
It's a cool record. I mean, Drake can rap, Drake can make music, we know that. But I mean, y'all don't think it's extremely corny for him to be in a video surrounded by guns?
No, absolutely it is. Yeah, for sure.
Y'all don't think that's extremely corny?
Yeah. The song, honestly, it just sounds like another good Drake hit. It don't really sound like.
I don't even know if it's. I don't even know if it's.
I wouldn't say a hit. It don't.
It's a cool record.
Like another Drake, like
the
single.
vibe.
Like okay, cool, like a vibey single.
Why is he in the video surrounded by guns? What is the point?
Because
you want to go to war because you got off the rap battle? This record would make a lot of sense if Drake hadn't said nothing for the last year and a half.
Yeah.
If he hadn't said a word, no lawsuits, no nothing, hadn't said nothing, he just came out. What did I miss? I didn't know what y'all was on. Like, that would make more sense.
Yeah.
But you in the video surrounded by a bunch of choppers. You're the Canadian chopper slinger now.
Because rather than altering the narrative around him, it brings to mind the bars of Euphoria where K-Dot spit that, I hate when a rapper talk about guns, then somebody die and they turn into nuns, saying pray for my city, they faking for likes and digital hugs. After all, this is the same guy who once dedicated a verse on Snoop Lionn's No Guns Allowed to Cheyenne Charles and Joshua Yesay, two youths that died in Toronto, with bars like, news from back home, this is when it hurts to be gone. Two more young names to be carved out of stone. And you can bet that if Top 5 had lost his life, then he would have been directly online paying tribute to the man who was happy to act like Drake's enforcer. Aside from corny stunts like that, there is also the simple fact that he's been punked numerous times, including the incident where a friend of T.I.'s once peed on Drizzy's leg, and there was basically no repercussions.
The wildest shit I've ever seen before in my life, you know what I'm saying? But I ain't had no malicious intent. Yeah, I shut it down. I don't want it to be weaponized against nobody. And when I said it right now, it wasn't the victimized cuz. It was like, yeah, that shit happened. And I was pissed off in my partner when it happened. I don't see how it could ever be taken as a, you know what I'm saying, like as a diss. I don't see how it could be. That would be someone allowing their emotions to manipulate them.
This leads to another K-Dot lyric that's aging like fine wine. Don't let another man pee on your leg, son. Either you die right there or shoot that man in the head, son. But these incidents don't just happen when he's away from his alleged empire of Toronto either. In 2009, he was robbed for $2,000 in cash, an Audemars Piguet watch, and a diamond chain Lil Wayne had gifted him outside of a restaurant in his native Toronto. I knew it was a setup because I had on a sweater and a jacket, Drake later said of the situation, but when they banged on the car window with a gun and opened the door, the first thing he said was, "Yo, run that chain." They didn't rob her, and her purse was sitting right there. So I was like, okay, you set the whole thing up. And to make matters worse, initial reports suggested he cooperated with the investigation, something which is rightly or wrongly a cardinal sin in hip-hop. Once again, this was alluded to by K-Dot on Euphoria with him spitting, "I be a new ho king eating fried rice with a dip sauce and a blammy, Crody." Even discounting incidents like this, his upbringing means that he doesn't have the temperament of even someone like K-Dot, who, while he has never claimed to be a gangbanger, is familiar with the codes and ethics just by the virtue of where he grew up. As a result, we get incidents such as the time where he apparently ran from the very sight of firearms on the set of the game's 100 video.
Like, what the f*** are y'all talking about? The nigga ran from the video. We had to go get the nigga. We started moving location. He started seeing homies come out with sticks to go clear the next block. He jumped in his Escalade and ran. We had to go send niggas to chase him down and bring him back. So what are y'all talking about? This super tough y'all talking about with Drake. I'm confused. In fact, the homie pulled up. Trader True pulled up by himself. Whack, where y'all at? What you doing? We got a video. Where you at? Bombed it.
I remember you.
Send me the address. You pulled up by a nigga, took a taxi over there. Listen, why y'all even relate? Why y'all even trying to tie Drake to anything gangster tough?
He's not gangster.
That ain't what he do.
Not at all.
And even he attempted to use Kendrick's lack of gang affiliation against him. Legends like Compton's MC8 inferred that someone like Toronto didn't have the authority to wade into these matters when he fundamentally doesn't understand.
Well, yeah, you actually commented because when Drake dropped Family Matters, he tried to sort of paint Kendrick as like a fake gangster, you know, like who really represent, you know, YG, who really represent Chuck D. But you actually said that Drake is reaching. Kendrick never claimed to be a blood.
No, his representation, what it was. Everybody knew where he lived, where he grew up. That was basically what he wanted to portray to people. Like, I'm not all out just, you know, red ragged and, you know, khaki suits and, you know, tattoos of the neighborhood, but I grew up over here. I'm still gonna represent where I'm from, but I never, you know, came out, you know, like the homie YG or the homie Game, who openly told you, I'm affiliated with this section. Kendrick basically was just like, I grew up over here. I never went through the situations where I got put on or that type of things, but when you grow up in the hood, you're still a part of the neighborhood. And so that's where he came from with it.
But it somehow goes even deeper than that. Because after suing UMG over the beef that he was once begging Kendrick to partake in, any notion that he would be a gangster or would do anything more than shout out a man from a distance on a live stream or mean mug DeMar DeRozan from the sidelines just seems implausible. Instead, he's doing his battles in the courtroom, with the news recently emerging that his lawyers are listing 63 potential witnesses in its initial disclosure filing regarding the rapper's defamation lawsuit against Universal Music Group, and much to the dismay of he and his whole crew, is doing nothing to improve their reputation. Emerging out of Atlanta, Georgia, Draco obtaining success at such a young age with Crank That has meant that he's grown up in front of the whole world. For this precise reason, there are things about Soulja Boy's persona that just don't add up. For one thing, there's the absurd tales about his gangster antics that only became a part of his persona a little later down the line.
I was chilling, man. I seen like 20 start running through the door. You know me, I jump off the balcony with the motherfucking parachute on my back with 2 Dracos, like, I had my $130,000 kilo chain on, took it off like, slapped the with it. Bow! Bitch ass nigga, get your ass here on the ground. I'm beating him with the Cuban like, fuck! I look on the TV, nigga, Donald Trump became the president.
But the problem is that more often than not, he can't even keep his own story straight.
Some niggas kicked in the door. I looked out the door. Bam, I looked through the door. I see like 3, 4 niggas running through the crib. I seen like 5 niggas running through my house with ski masks on with AK-47s. Your boy went and take the trash out. He come back in, Soulja. I just seen some fans ride by the house while I was taking the trash out.
Where were you? You were inside?
I was in the studio room. You know what I'm saying? They kicked in outside though, in the kitchen. I said, what the f? some fans, grab the pistol, go outside, look, I don't see shit, come back in the crib. So when I look, they didn't see me. I'm in the studio listening to some beats. All I hear is boom, real loud. When I cracked the door open, I seen like 5 in all black with ski masks on with guns. Instantly stopped the music. One run to the front door. I hop out, I start shooting. Bow, 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 bow. Shot the The first I missed, he ducked and ran out the house. The second I hit him. The third I hit him. I hit him like 5 times. They tried to kidnap my boy. They grabbed him and was holding him. They grabbed him like this and was holding him with the gun like this, trying to back out the house so they wouldn't get hit, you know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to shoot and not hit this nigga.
So you trying to shoot around Jabbar?
Yeah. All the run out the door, they run out the door.
So where was Jabbar? If he was in the studio with y'all, he came?
No, A-Rab was in the studio. Jabbar was in the kitchen with Killer. It was 2 people in the kitchen.
Got
It was
you.
1 person in the studio with me and A-Rab. And that's what happened.
Was he eating or
The
something?
other nigga was holding. Yeah, Killer was making a sandwich.
A sandwich?
He was
What kind?
he was making some noodles. He was making some oodles and noodles.
Oh, okay.
And similarly, he can't keep his own ethics in check either. Over the years, Soulja Boy has been open about having security around him at all times, because in his own estimations, this was a necessity to combat any of his ops out there. Not to mention that he carries a gun around too.
You do need to have a good security team. You know what I'm saying? The whole thing is, once you get on TV and everybody know who you are, everybody know your name, you know, everybody's not gonna love you, you know what I'm saying? Most parts, it's not like, oh, you know, Soulja Boy, Lil Wayne got caught with a gun, they was finna shoot somebody. Like, we don't wanna kill nobody. Like, we multi-millionaires. Like, what we look like wanna walk out somebody and, you know, kill somebody or something like that. It's just for protection, but, you know, at the same time, we are hip-hop artists and this is a reality. We really come from the streets.
Over the years, this has gotten him in a fair share of trouble. In 2014, the rapper was given 2 years of probation for carrying a loaded firearm. Then he got arrested at his Hollywood Hills home in 2016 after officers say that they found the gun while he was on probation. He pleaded no contest to felony weapons possession and a misdemeanor charge in April 2017, receiving 5 years of probation and 240 days of community service. At this point, he pledged to get things in check, suggesting that he was looking forward to focusing back on music and new business for 2017. But as you'll come to realize, Draco's word should not be taken as gospel in any situation. In 2025, he got jammed up once more when he was a passenger in a vehicle stopped at Genesee and Melrose. According to the LAPD, a gun was discovered in the car, leading to Soulja Boy's arrest. But it's not just the interactions he has with the law enforcement that are the problem. Instead, it's his increasingly idiotic outlook on things that's emerged now that he is intent on portraying himself as a gangster, to the extent that he's even trying to rewrite history and act like he's from Cali, specifically the blood-affiliated side of Compton.
And people on social media don't really know what happened.
So, alright, this is what happened, basically. Me and Chris Brown from the same hood. I'm from Bompton, Fruitown, Peru. I'm a blood, I'm a member of the blood gang, you know what I'm saying? CB is too, supposedly.
At a time when far too many rappers and other kids embroiled in street politics are getting killed, Soulja Boy came out and actively opposed NBA Youngboy's admirable Stop the Violence campaign, where he briefly tried to pull back from non-stop beef and gun talk, without pretending he still isn't a street artist. But instead of commending YB for doing this, he sounded off about it in a ridiculous rant.
I'm one of the last straight rappers in the game, nigga. We promoting beef, we promoting violence, we not painting our fingernails, nigga. Fuck you talking about? Y'all can be brainwashed if y'all want to, nigga. I'm a headshot, nigga. Fuck you talking about, nigga? ARPs, Dracos, 5.7s, Glocks, hollow tips, switches. Fuck you talking about, nigga? I'm promoting the violence, nigga. If you don't like it, fuck you, nigga. Fuck you talking about? Y'all is too soft.
This kind of brash ignorance might be expected of a young, up-and-coming rapper, but at 35 years of age, Soulja Boy should know better. Yet, it's continued to get worse and worse, with Draco putting on this persona to a point where he was threatening to shoot content creators during an online dispute.
Nigga, you's a nigga. You can't even put up more than 5K. I'll shoot you in your face, nigga. You better watch your mouth, nigga. And screenshot the page, but I swear to God, I'ma find this nigga. On my mama, I'ma find you. Watch.
Motherfucker crashed out over a TikTok game.
Due to his lack of credentials in that world, it's no surprise that people like Charleston White think nothing of dissing Soulja Boy.
I want to remind Soulja Boy, you ain't got no motherfucking ops, nigga. Nothing about you was street. Let's go back over your career. You got rap rivalries. You ain't got no opposition. Y'all ain't boom, 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 boom. You shot at some that broke into your house. Anybody, no, that's a gimme. Yeah, that's a gimme. And we all know you were paying for protection, because you can't go beat no blood how you were doing without paying them niggas.
Intent on standing on business, Soulja went up to Charleston at Rolling Loud after these comments and demanded that he apologized or there would be consequences. But instead, he just got pepper sprayed for his trouble.
They don't know if they had been tased. They didn't know what had happened to that motherfucker. And he say, bro, you maced me? Yeah, nigga. Next time, you nigga better holler with a bullhorn. You better use the police bullhorn and say, hey, we want to talk. Other than that, nigga, shit, nigga, you can't just walk up to no nigga like me, hollering about I want to talk. I don't want to talk to now some nigga. I don't want to talk to no bunch of niggas. Nigga got rings on his finger. Boy, that nigga hit me across my head, one of them rings, put that eye out, it'll go viral. Oh, Soulja Boy, put that eye out.
When push came to shove, Charleston proved that without a shadow of a doubt that Draco wasn't about it that way. In fact, in another layer of his contradictory nature, it appears that Soulja Boy prefers to put his hands on women. Recently, DDG was added to the expansive list of people who've been in Soulja Boy's crosshairs. But this wasn't your average beef about rapping or streaming. Instead, he insisted that he would get revenge for Holly Bailey amid unproven rumors that DDG had assaulted her during their messy breakup. On his X account, Soulja Boy told DDG that, if I catch you, I'm beating the fuck out of you. Given how Draco's reputation has plummeted over the years, DDG obviously dissed him without hesitation.
You know who else live in the past? That one that made that dancing song when I was a kid, man. You gotta do something now, bro. You gotta stop living in the past. I ain't even gonna sit here and disrespect that little, but you gotta stop living in the past, bro. We don't give a fuck about what you sold when you was 12, nigga. We don't give a fuck about what you sold when you was 15. Who are you now? Nothing.
He wasn't alone either, as the likes of Low Tier God came at him as well, believing that he was only trying to keep himself relevant.
Soulja Boy would get his ass beat by Dub because Dub outweighs the nigga by 100 pounds. I don't even know why he's talking about he's gonna beat somebody's ass. Last time he was supposed to fight somebody was Chris Brown. The nigga never pulled up for a fade. How the f you gonna advocate for anything when you're the main nigga to be abusing bitches? Literally on TV, him verbally abusing bitches.
But yourself!
Suck my.
You gonna be alright?
Mind you, this is the same person saying this.
If I hear about you touching the Little Mermaid one more time, nigga, I ain't doing no posting, nigga. I'm putting up and punching, nigga.
Bro, a punch from Soulja Boy wouldn't even hurt. So I'm still trying to figure out where this whole Captain Save a Woman type shit is coming from. When you beat chicks, put guns to their heads, threaten them with Dracos, verbally and physically abuse women. Fuck out of here, bro.
But DDG and the others ultimately missed an opportunity to throw some allegations directly back his way. Because while Soulja seemed especially upset over the allegation that DDG hit Holly, it clearly wasn't coming from a broader stance against abuse, especially given his own history with similar accusations. For one thing, exes of his including Kayla Myers and model Nia Riley have suggested that he was abusive, with Myers saying that she wound up with 3 fractured ribs during one of the many incidents they had. The same goes for Nia, whose music producer father Teddy Riley confronted Soulja after hearing some of the claims.
When you hear some of the stories, Nia claimed that Soulja Boy kicked her in the stomach while she was pregnant, put a gun in her head, that type of thing. As a father, how does that affect you?
Well, let me say this. Soulja Boy knows who I am, and he knows I'm deep. He knows I'm very deep. We had an altercation. I was called a lot of names, and I got an apology.
In April 2023, a jury ordered Soulja Boy to pay $235,000 in punitive damages to Kayla, who claimed he assaulted her at a party at his Malibu home in 2019. But the tales of violence didn't end there, with Soulja being characterized as a brutal boss who repeatedly beat and sexually assaulted an anonymous former employee of his. And when this went to trial, the details were horrendous, and attorney Ronald Zambrano told jurors that his client broke down crying. He raped her, punched her, kicked her, cut her. He picked up and then slammed her, choked her, left bruises from squeezing her arm. He grabbed her head by a mirror and said, "No one will love you." He pointed a Draco gun at her. He locked her in a room, threatened her family, threatened her, and denied her food. Using as many receipts as she could, the former assistant revealed that on April 20th, 2020, Soulja texted, "I hope you die slow." The Jane Doe then responded with, "You think you can keep hitting on me? You are crazy." To which he replied, "Fuck you, bitch. I hope you catch corona, bitch. And I should have killed your ass." As for Soulja, even how he conducted himself in court was deemed to be an attempt to mask his true nature. It was an act, a 4-week act with glasses and a suit, her attorney argued. The act you're being asked to buy, unfortunately, my client did buy it. It's why she went back. I ask that you don't fall for the man sitting over there with fake glasses on, trying to convince you that he's incapable of the bruises you've seen, the cuts you've seen, the text messages he sent. While Soulja Boy's team claimed that the plaintiff is motivated by jealousy, revenge, and financial gain, the anonymous woman sought to explain why she didn't come forward before. "I feared for my life," she told the jury on the 4th day of the civil trial, claiming Soulja told her he knew where her mother lived and he threatened to send shooters to her house, and later testified that, "I was scared of what he would do to my family. I didn't want him to hurt anybody because of me." Eventually, Soulja Boy was informed that he would have to pay the victim $4 million, something which he didn't exactly take well. This was evidenced by the statement he gave afterwards, which was either sent to him by a lawyer or straight up ripped off a ChatGPT prompt.
I want to make it clear that I'm innocent. This case was never about justice. It was about money and personal gain, and I would not let that stand. I am committed to filing an appeal and fighting for the truth to be revealed. I will continue to stand by my decision and believe that I did not commit the crimes I'm accused of. Thank you to everyone who has supported me during this time. I promise that I will fight until the end to clear my name and expose the truth.
Rather than take accountability, Soulja Boy did what he does best and tried to evade owning up to his own wrongdoing and ignored the hypocritical nature of doing the same things that he wanted to fight DDG over. But at this point, who could really be surprised when Draco has proven that he'll do pretty much anything to get ahead? On his regularly chaotic X account, Soulja Boy once tweeted that if you want to see how someone really is, wait until there's money involved. And if that's the case, then it's a scathing indictment of who he really is behind the scenes. Over the years, Soulja Boy is one of the many high-profile people who've dabbled with cryptocurrency, often sharing his insights online. But it seemed that he had ulterior motives all along. In a lengthy thread, blockchain investigator Zach XBT exposed Soulja's involvement in promoting numerous cryptocurrency and NFT projects that turned out to be scams. Among them was the Rap Doge project, where he and numerous others, such as Quavo, Lil Yachty, and more, executed a rug pull just hours after coaxing their fans into buying in. Then there was other attempts like Orion and the Life Token. These ventures allegedly exploited cancer and suicide prevention charities to inflate token prices artificially before these were also rugged and deleted. Zach even detailed how he ran into issues with government bodies too, as the US Securities and Exchange Commission, commonly known as the SEC, had filed a complaint accusing him and several other celebrities of unlawfully promoting Tronics and BitTorrent. Over the course of this spell of grifting, it was speculated that Soulja earned more than $730,000 from crypto and NFT promotions during this period. And if money tells you all you need to know about people, then what does this willingness to scam say about Soulja Boy? After it all came out, he attempted some damage control. As always, he did so without even taking a hint of responsibility. I want to be clear and transparent. I had no knowledge that a scammer named Sahil was involved or paying me to promote anything fraudulent. At the time, I was doing paid promos without understanding the crypto/NFT space the way I do now. And even with an apology out there, he's not being given much grace by those in that space at all. Be Soulja Boy. Promote dozens of scam tokens in 2021. Easy money, watch them all go to zero, disappear, wait 4 years, launch meme coins and pump fund, watch them all go to zero again, get exposed, block bubble maps, try to come clean, say you had no idea, blame Sahil, become a creator on base, repeat. Aside from the unsavory dealings in cryptocurrency, Soulja Boy's underhanded behavior in business also extends to how he moves when working on other projects. At one point, he claimed that he owned the long-standing game company Atari, after they were allegedly impressed with his Soulja game console.
They signed me to a deal to Atari. Big shout out to Atari, the whole staff. I'm about to revamp the company. We're gonna take Atari to the next level. Everybody go follow at Atari. I am now the owner of Atari. They was real proud of me of what I did with the Soulja Boy game console. You know what I'm saying? I blew Soulja Boy game up. We about to sell the company for like, was it 100 I think I'm gonna get 140 million.
Despite his formal announcement, his claims were quickly rebuked by Atari, who said that there were absolutely no basis in reality for this claim, proclaiming that, "We know the CEO of Atari is a dream job, but that honor belongs to Wade Rosen." As for the machine itself, the reality was that it was part of a line of ROM-hacked gaming consoles, similar to other handheld emulators that were available for purchase through online retailers like AliExpress and Amazon. Once that one flopped, he has switched to handheld territory. The Soulja Game Flip is advertised for gaming enthusiasts who crave high-quality performance on the go, claiming it boasts a robust library of retro and modern games, offering an unparalleled gaming experience. It originally cost $430, but was then priced down to $200. All of that isn't particularly damning, until you learn that the console he was selling was actually just the pre-existing handheld from console maker Retroid called the Retroid Pocket Flip 2. I actually have one of these myself, the Retroid Pocket 5, and I highly suggest it if you're a fan of emulation, and this is not an ad by the way. Afterwards, the Retroid team said the following upon learning what he had done. "This is not any kind of official licensing deal. He does not have permission to rebrand our products and sell them as his own. The Retroid Pocket Flip 2 is patented in the US by ourselves." The end product of these threads of treacherous behavior from Soulja Boy is that not only is he regarded as a hypocrite, but everything he's done basically ensures that he doesn't get the respect he maybe deserves as a pioneer for a generation of rappers. At this stage, any relevance he has is all tied to drama, with Draco feeding from the news cycles' need for constant ridiculousness rather than anything he's done in music.
The funny part about this is if it wasn't for platforms like Vlad TV, No Jumper, Academics, and Say Cheese TV, Soulja Boy wouldn't be doing Rolling Loud. He'd be doing state fairs, just like all the other mid-2000 rappers out there.
Yeah, you're probably right. And to be honest, like, could you imagine us posting about just what? Soulja Boy having a decent Rolling Loud show? I mean, because then we have to post about the other 117 people that are on the Rolling Loud flyer too, right? I can't believe that he has the nerve to try to blame us after having kept him relevant for all these fucking years, because it's clearly not the music that's keeping him relevant.
No.
Let's be real. There is like a class of celebrity in hip hop who basically manages to stay relevant through doing your platform and maybe mine, maybe some sort of combination.
And their antics.
Right.
And the antics that we consistently report on for 15 years now.
Right. And that not only has benefited from it, but it's the only thing he's benefiting from at this point, because let's be real, music ain't hot like that.
And while the whole did it first thing works as a meme, his overzealousness in inserting himself into everything ultimately just has people categorizing him as a clown rather than a creative force. Now no longer relevant in music, Soulja has his focus on the streaming world after he signed up for a Kick deal.
I'm partnering and I'm verifying and I'm everything. They just maxed my shit out to the max. Oh yeah, it's over. On Kick, Kick.com/SouljaBoy.
But of course, he had to make it out as something special designed for him, rather than just a standard partner program anyone can access. This is classic Soulja Boy, as he's routinely proven himself to have no issues with stressing the details of what his contacts or partnerships actually involve.
Now, you announced you had a $400 million deal with the World Poker
That was
Fund.
facts, nigga. What is what?
You said it was an $80 million a year contract for 5 years for in-flight
Facts,
gaming.
nigga. Google it. I still got the contract right now. What are you talking about?
Well, the company said it turned out that it was just shares that were valued at $2.5 million.
Same thing. Well, millions is millions, bound baby.
No, Soulja. Millions is not millions.
In the meantime, he's trying to sell a clothing brand that no one appears to be remotely interested in. And despite that attempt at an apology or his previous crypto crisis, it's clear that he's happy to exploit fans any way he can, as he's still rugging coins.
Nah, that's a good thing, bro. That's a good thing. Trust me, I know what I'm doing, bro. Just sit back, enjoy the show. You know what I'm saying? 11,000 market cap, looking beautiful.
Basically, the man who leapt into the industry with Crank That has done so many hypocritical and treacherous things that he's pretty much made himself impossible to support. The end result of all this is the reality of today, with Soulja stuck playing to dwindling crowds and fighting to prove his relevancy. And while it's tough to see someone who should be revered struggling like that, Draco really has no one to blame but himself at this point. It's your boy Luesta. I want to thank y'all for watching today's video, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.